1 week 2. This was the questions on the extra practice activities. We've got here a table of fuel prices. It's given to us in dollars. First one, they want to know the fuel price increase for Zimbabwe from the 5th of June 2019 to the 1st of March 2021. So if we look in our table, we're looking at Zimbabwe. There is June and there is the 2021 March. And if they want to know the increase, it's just the difference between them. How much did it increase by? So you go 1,258 minus 0,8. You can say 0,80. It's the same thing. And you should get to 0,458. And we are working in dollars. This one you do not need to round off because you can see there are values given to 3 decimal places. If you did round off, it's okay, but always show your unrounded answer first anyway. Then we had 1.1.2, which was asking us to write down the current exchange rate of the Botswanan pula to the US dollar in the format of 1 pula is so many dollars. So if we go and we look over here at what's going on with our pula from Botswana, we can see that we are told there is 11,14 pulas for every dollar. But they want to know what if we knew for 1 pula, not for $1. So this you can start as a ratio. If you think of it, you write any exchange rate is a type of a ratio. So you can say we have $1 is 11,14 pula. Now what we're looking for is we're going to say if we had 1 pula, how many dollars would it be? And this you now go to your preferred method for a ratio, however you want to think of it. You can think of saying, how do I get from 11,14 pula to 1? You would divide by 11,14. Or you could use the flow method of going, well, I'm going to divide up. So 1 divided by 11,14 and then multiply my way across. Both times though you're going to get to quite a long decimal. And for the sake of space, I'm going to just give myself a bit more room over here. You would get to 0,08976, and it actually kind of keeps going from there. Because it's such a long decimal, you're perfectly fine to leave it with about 5 decimal places and then put a few dots after to say you know it continues. Or you could round it to 2 or 3 decimals. But please remember, if you're rounding, you always show unrounded first. So because realistically what we're going to be marking is we're marking this point over here, this long form of it. Okay, so don't worry too much about rounding in a case like this. You can round, and you theoretically should because it is an exchange rate, but show the unrounded answer first. Then you've got identify the countries which showed a decrease in fuel price. So if we go and we look at our decrease in fuel price, you're just comparing and seeing. So if I'm looking, South Africa increased, it got bigger. So not that one. Angola got smaller, so we're going to say Angola. Then we've got Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe went up, so we're not doing them. Namibia went down, so yes for Namibia. Swaziland went up only by 0.01, but it did go up, not them. And Botswana went down, so you can mention them. In a case like this, they haven't specified how many you need to state, so you should state all 3 because they haven't specified. Remember, if they say only specify 2 or name 1 country, then you only give 1. You don't give all 3 if they say how many answers they want to. If they don't, you give all 3. 5.1 was a table of values, and they were asking you to find Z, which was the missing value, when they have given you the mean value for that set of data. So this is working backwards with the mean, and there's a few ways to think of it. When we do the mean normally, right, we would add all of this together, and then we would say all of this divided by 7. And I'm saying 7 because if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, there is 7. And that is what gave us this value over here. Now we have to kind of work in reverse. So because we divided by 7 to get to this number, we're going to work backwards. And we're going to say, look, I know there's 7 numbers here. So I'm going to say 290,526, and I'm going to multiply it by 7, because if I multiply this by 7, it should give me the total of all of these values here added all together. So that's your starting point. And then when you've done this, we now need to take away the values that we know. And the values that we know is the sum of all of the 6 values given. Because if you take away the ones that we know, we're left with Z, the unknown one. So first I'm multiplying by 7, and then when I've done that, I'm going to subtract 1742290, and that was the sum of the known values going down here, the female values. And when you've done that, you should get to 291392. This is a very, very common question to get. They love to ask it in finals because it really tests, do you understand firstly how to work backwards with a calculation, and do you understand the concept of a mean? So make sure that you know this. It is quite an important one, and there's a very high likelihood of that being asked in a final paper.